tensions between Elon Musk and Donald Trump have been mounting over the contentious U.S. spending bill. And on Thursday, the gloves came off. The two billionaires publicly launched both professional and personal attacks against one another, ending in an unprecedented political alliance. CNN's Kristen Holmes has the details.
Well, there is breaking up, and then there is publicly taking a flamethrower to the other person's reputation, to their livelihood, and that is really what we saw and continue to see playing out between two of the world's most powerful men, Elon Musk and President Donald Trump. Of course, what we saw is changed so much since last Friday when Elon Musk had his government send-off, leaving the government. Donald Trump and Musk talking highly about each other has now devolved into personal attacks on each person's respective online platform. All of this stemming from this bill, this congressional spending bill. Elon Musk earlier this week starting to attack the bill pretty aggressively. We first saw Carolyn Levitt, the press secretary, respond to this in real time. She was giving a press briefing and she laughed it off, saying Donald Trump knows where Elon Musk stands. He's going to continue with this bill. But since then, this continued to devolve. Elon Musk ramping up the pressure, saying how awful this bill was. White House officials telling us behind the scenes that they believe this is all about the electric vehicle mandate, the rolling back of electric vehicle credits, and that's why Elon Musk was mad. We were also told that Trump himself, behind closed doors, before he reacted, was speculating this was all about business for Musk, that this was all about him going back to Tesla, and these were things he needed to do. But today, Donald Trump broke his silence, was asked a question about Musk, and really went into him, saying he was disappointed in Musk, that this was all about those electric vehicle credits, that they had a very good relationship. He didn't know if they were going to have one again. Musk then began responding himself in real time on Twitter, on X, his own platform, hitting back at several things that Donald Trump said. Now, this continued to go on until the attacks got personal. At one point, Musk saying that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files. That itself trying to have a low blow here to Donald Trump. Now, it was quiet after that. We saw Donald Trump's only engagement in this was a post about the bill, saying he was fine with Elon turning on him, but he wished he wouldn't turn on the bill. Now we have a statement, the most recent one, from Carolyn Levitt, the press secretary, addressing these accusations from Elon Musk. He says, this is an unfortunate episode from Elon, who was unhappy with the one big beautiful bill because it does not include the policies he wanted. The president is focused on passing this historic piece of legislation and making our country great again. Well, there is a reason that this is so focused. It is because the directive from the top of course being President Trump, is to keep focused on the bill. Try not to get in the weeds here, because of course this bill is Donald Trump's legacy. Donald Trump, his administration, they believe so much of what he needs to get done on his agenda, the things he's promised to do, is wrapped up in this bill. So for that reason, he is currently telling his team to stay focused on the bill. But that could change at any time. We obviously are not seeing any letting up on either side, particularly Musk, who at one point earlier today agreed with a post that called for Donald Trump's impeachment. So as this plays out, this is one of the most public breaking ups of two high-powered individuals that we've seen in quite some time. Kristen Holmes, CNN, the White House.
Well, for more on the breakup, the Trump-Musk public feud, I want to bring in CNN political analyst Ron Brownstein. Good to see you, Ron. Thanks for joining us from LA.
Yeah.
So many predicted this bromance, this clash of enormous egos would eventually unravel. But the way it imploded today, with insults flying online minute by minute, has been nothing short of extraordinary, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no one is surprised, right, to get to this point. But you have to say, to answer Kristen's question, I was thinking about this all day. I mean, the last political divorce this acrimonious may have been JFK cutting off Frank Sinatra in 1962. I mean, it was just extraordinary to watch the two of them go back and forth. You know, not surprising in the sense that Musk is, notoriously mercurial and erratic, and Trump really has never had a lasting alliance with anyone whose last name isn't Trump. So I don't think we're surprised that we got here. Maybe that it was so public and so vicious so quickly, but that is really kind of in the character of the two protagonists.
Yeah, and it's certainly fascinating the way this all played out. Musk reigniting the fire by reposting old Trump tweets criticizing Republicans for raising the debt ceiling, the very thing Trump's current spending bill does. And from there, it spiraled. The US president said Musk had Trump derangement syndrome. Musk slammed Trump and called it a big, ugly spending bill. He also said that Trump wouldn't have been elected without him. Is there any truth to that, Ron?
No, look, Joe Biden's disapproval rating was 60%. Lynda, we talked about this before. There really is no precedent for the president's party holding the White House, whether he runs or not, if that many people are dissatisfied with his performance. But Musk certainly helped. I mean, he was a factor. His money was a factor in Pennsylvania. I kind of look at kind of the arguments that they're each making against each other and find them extremely revealing. On the one hand, you have Musk arguing that senators should vote against the bill that passed the House, the spending and tax bill, because it increases the debt too much. There are a lot of people who agree with that. But Musk's argument is that the problem is that it doesn't cut spending enough. He ignores, like Senators Ron Johnson and Rand Paul, he ignores that it's spending $3.75 trillion to extend the Trump tax cuts from 2017 and the new Trump tax cut promises from the 2024 campaign, and is basically arguing for them to cut spending more at a time when it is already going to be difficult, if history is any guide, for Republicans to sell the public on the idea of cutting programs that mostly benefit the middle class to fund taxes that mostly benefit the rich. And then equally revealing, yesterday, the idea that the federal government could not get needed contracts with all sorts of Musk companies to do must do business. And today, all of those don't make sense anymore. I mean, it's just a reminder of how much Trump envisions the entire federal government as a way to reward friends and punish enemies.
Yeah, very revealing indeed. There was one post that kind of went nuclear, was the suggestion from Musk that Trump appears in the Epstein files, a reference, of course, to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. How seriously should we take that claim?
Well, look, I mean, there is some relationship between them. I mean, there are photos of them together, and Trump was at, I believe, at least one party that Epstein did. There's video of that. There are no specific allegations against Trump that he visited Epstein's island. But look, I mean, Musk is a very rich and very vengeful person, and you don't know what kind of lengths he might go to try to make these allegations. You do wonder if he will feel the need to climb down from these battlements, Musk even more than Trump, because, I mean, Musk, you would think, has more to lose in this. I mean, the government contracts are important to all of his businesses. And as we're saying, Trump has shown he is very willing to use every possible lever of government influence to reward friends and punish enemies in a way that Richard Nixon only dreamed about with his enemies list. And Musk also has a lot of exposure with Tesla. I mean, his dalliance with Trump and right-wing politics has alienated a lot of their natural consumers. And the thought that MAGA voters might step in to fill the breach now looks pretty, illusory. So he could be facing a lot of pressure on the business side sooner than later. Yeah,
and we saw that play out in real time in the markets. Billions of dollars away from Tesla's market value today as this online feud and this tit for tat played out. What does this feud reveal about the shifting relationship between tech moguls and political power, especially given that Musk once used X, formerly known as Twitter, to amplify Trump, and now he seems intent on using it to tear him down?
Yeah, I think it really shows that, how flawed the strategy of all of these super rich oligarchs, if you want to call them, buttering up to Trump, giving contracts to Melania Trump, big contributions to his inauguration, trying to just kind of mollify him. You can't mollify someone who envisions himself as a strongman. He always will be back asking for more. And what happened to Musk today and the kind of the blow up we saw with Musk seems inevitable with every other one of these tech moguls who have tried to kind of buy their way into Trump's good graces. I mean, look at what happened to Apple. I mean, all of their efforts to kind of, mollify Trump, and Trump is now threatening them with tariffs specifically on China. They're really, by far, a safer course for them is to hang together and defend the rule of law rather than this personalized vision of government where all benefits or punishments flow out of your personal relationship with the leader. But they are, they have bought into this idea that you can basically make a separate piece. And I think Musk is abject proof that you cannot. There is no way to guarantee your safety under someone who views their power as unlimited in a way as Trump does, and is as willing to deploy it against anyone who crosses him in any way.
We will be watching Twitter and Truth Social tomorrow to see how this continues to play out. Ron Brownstein in Los Angeles, thanks so much.
Thank you.
We're following developments out of Lebanon right now, where Israel says it's striking terror targets in and around Beirut. We're going to go live to the Lebanese capital next.